Hello everybody, welcome back to the Close Encounters series of music production tutorial videos by myself, d.a.w, or Jason UFO. This is number 8 in the series and it's all about layering sounds, particularly pads and stuff in breakdowns. This was a question, or a request that came to me through Facebook today actually. I put a quick video up asking people's opinion of what they'd like to see over this weekend. And Richard Swift, big up yourself. That seems like a really good subject to me to cover. Because not a lot of people, well, there's some people that sort of aren't sure about what to do with it. So let's get to it. Okay, so you when you get to your breakdown, depending on how you like to make your tracks, I always sort of have a formula with most of mine, to be fair. There's 48 bar intro. Sorry for all the 16 bar or 38 bar, 32 bar people. But anyway, sooner or later you're going to want to break it down. For me, I break it down there, and it's usually a precursor to when the vocal comes in. Because I always tend to make vocal tracks. So the layering in this, let's try and sort this out so you can see it a little better. We've got all of these pads, I've called it ambient, which is here. And we've got this one airwave sound, which I'm not sure what that is. What I'll do is I'll just solo the actual folder, and then we'll loop the part we're concerned with. Oh, we've got 80s pads as well, I've just seen. So I've got 2 folder tracks filled with stuff. So you can sort of see how much layering I've got going on. You know, there's a lot going on there, but there is a reason, there's a method to the madness. A lot of people do say to me, how do you make your breakdown sound so sort of big and epic? And it's a sort of mixture of a few things. Normally, you have to have obviously good music in the first place. Stuff that you've written that sounds good, the chord progression's good, and all the rest of that. Secondly, it's a bit of trial and error to find the right synth sounds that sort of fit together nicely. And then thirdly is a secret, which I will get into later on in the video. It's not going to be too long, this video, I don't think, but I will get to the secret ingredient that really makes the biggest difference to breakdowns, which I hear a lot of people miss. So the first thing, let's play this ambient folder, because I'm kind of... Oh, by the way, the track is a track by me and Keely. It's called All or Nothing, and it's coming out very, very soon on 24/7 Hardcore. I'll leave a link in the description to a clip of it, of the actual finished track. So let's see what we've got. So by itself doesn't actually sound that impressive. What have we got in these 80s? Let's mute those. And these 80s ones, what have we got here? I will put the mastering on actually. That's better. Can hear it now. Right, so very 80s sort of sawtooth sort of sounds. What's this up here? Let's have a look at that. Okay, so that's a sample, you know, that I got from Loop Master. Well, Loop Cloud actually. I'll leave a link in the description to that as well, because you need to check that out, because that is a game changer. Anyway, so right, we've got a mixture of this sound, this 80s chords. Okay, so that's almost all of the stuff that's in there. I did have acoustic guitars which I recorded for this track, so if I solo those, and how I've done it is I've sort of faded the guitars in over the, so it breaks down. I'll play you it. It's probably the easiest way, isn't it?
I can't take the pain. I'm not the girl I used to be. I don't feel ashamed. I am stronger now. I know what I need. I'm not gonna run away. It's time I took the lead. So give me everything or nothing at all. I won't be your second thought.
Alright, so it's quite an epic sounding breakdown with all the guitars and everything. But let's ignore the guitars at the moment because a lot of people don't have guitars in their tracks, to be fair. So it's normally, it seems to be just me at the moment. The secret ingredient I'm talking about, I'll let it in now, is this bass sound. You've got to have a low bass in there as well, which on its own doesn't sound like much. Pretty basic sort of bass sound. It's got a bit of chorusing going on. Very low in the mix. But what it does do is all the rest of your pads and everything else, is, you know, chords and stuff, are all sort of, if you imagine the frequency spectrum, they're all sort of high, mids and highs. And you've got nothing in the bottom to fill it out. And it makes it sound empty. It makes it sound a little bit tinny. So if you add a bass in, not necessarily a sub bass does work. But some sort of, I've found what works the best is a sort of warm, analogy sort of bass sound, just like I just played you. It's quite warm and analog. And low in the mix, underneath everything. So as you can hear all the way through that, there's some quite lush sort of synths going on. Now, what sort of synths should you use? Well, I tend to use pretty big stuff, really. You know, like d.a.w is very sort of old school analog sounding. So there's some good noises in that. I don't know what noise I'm using off of this. Why does it keep doing that? Don't do that. This is quite a thin sounding noise all by itself. What else we got? It says Nexus, but it may not be because I might not. Oh, it is Nexus. Ambient pad 3. So, you know, I've just obviously at the time of writing, I've probably just gone through all the pads until I found one I liked. This one's really thin. I'll get to the EQ on all these in a minute. That's a d.a.w noise. Or is it? Yes, it's a d.a.w noise. And then I've got Omnisphere as well, which has got this sort of mad effects going on in the background when you hold the note. Very ambient sounding. On its own, probably wouldn't be usable. And this is sort of like a fifth. We've got like a tingling on the top of it. Again, coming from Omnisphere. So, you know, I've combined all of those elements together to make one sort of big pad, you know, set of chords. Now obviously there's a lot going on in here, so I would say let me select these tracks so I can see them when I get the mixer up. Let's get the mixer up. Right, so there's all these here. Let's get rid of what we don't need. Right, this is what we're concerned with at the moment. So yeah, I can pretty much guarantee they've all been EQ'd as per my EQ tutorial that I did. Look at this. So I've actually cut slots out, and there's obviously some weird frequency in this one. Let's have a listen to that. What is that? Was it that one? Yeah. So solo that. See that weird whistle? So I've obviously dropped that out a little bit. I've not took any top end out, interestingly. But generally speaking, there's only sort of a few channels going on at once, so not the biggest disaster in the world, because it doesn't actually play with most of the rest of the track. So yeah, the biggest tip I can sort of give you for any sort of layering, really, I mean, this may be borderline overkill because I've got what 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different sounds, 7 different sounds, and then I've got these chords over the top, so there's probably 9. I mean, there's 9 sounds, there's 10 sounds with the bass. And then I've got a piano over the top, and I've got guitars going on, so I've got an awful lot of stuff going on. So you could almost say that just in that breakdown, I've actually got an entire tune, if you're talking about amounts of sounds that are going on. They obviously fade off in the end, because what I do before the vocal comes in, I faded it out so that when the vocal comes in, it's not so full and doesn't sound so cluttered.
It's all or nothing. I can't take the pain. I'm not the girl I used to be. I don't feel ashamed. I am stronger now.
So, you know, unfortunately there's no sort of formula for it. You have to just sort of experiment with different sounds, different pads, you know, and sort of see if they fit together nicely for what you're trying to achieve. So there it is. There you go. That's how you layer pads. Don't forget the all-important bass sounds. You need that sort of warm under sort of bass just to fill out the bottom. That makes it sound absolutely huge when that's played out in clubs and stuff as well. But be careful not to overcook it. you can actually turn the bass up too loud, and when you play it out somewhere, it will just overpower everything and get rid of and sort of disguise everything you're trying to do. So there you go. So if you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up. I'd love you to do that. I'm also very close to 600 subscribers on my channel. So if you haven't already, hit the subscribe button and hit the notification bell so you get informed of any new videos I upload. There's plenty more to come. I've got loads of tutorials planned. I've also got other things planned, DJ sets, live tunes, and also some other ideas to come, so which you'll miss all of that if you don't subscribe and you don't hit that notification bell. So other than that, I will catch you all in the next video, so peace.